Hello class, welcome to Pre-Algebra Lesson 11-2, which is all about complementary and supplementary angles. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify complementary and supplementary angles and use what you know in order to find missing values. So complementary and supplementary angles are something you learned about a few years ago back in elementary school. You learned about how complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees, and supplementary are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so it's really important to remember that complementary is 90 and supplementary is 180. That's going to come in handy. Okay, so when we're talking about complementary angles, it's when two angles add up to 90 degrees. So you'll often see a drawing like this where you have that right angle symbol or that 90-degree symbol. And that's usually a hint that you're dealing with complementary angles. Not always, but usually. And you can see I have angle 1 and angle 2 that put together form that right angle. Okay. So if we are trying to figure out what angle would be complementary to this given angle, what we would do is we would say, okay, complementary angles, they add up to 90. And I want to know what other angle would I need in order to make this a right angle, to make it complementary. So what is this? The way you do that is you take 90, so the whole thing, minus 60, because that'll tell us that we need a 30-degree angle in order to have two angles that add up to 90, or two complementary angles. So when you're just trying to find the measure of an angle that is complementary, you're going to do 90 minus whatever given angle you have. And then that answer is going to be the value for your complementary angle. Okay, so I want you to give the measure of the angle that is complementary to the given angle. So our given angle is 23 degrees. And then I have a couple of options over here, A, B, or C, for which one of those is complementary to 23 degrees. Good luck. All right, hopefully you said 90 minus 23 is 67, or option number B, or option letter B. Okay, so it'd be 67 degrees is complementary to 23 degrees. Okay, so that stuff's pretty straightforward. Now today we're going to practice writing and solving an equation using what we know about complementary angles. So similar to what we did yesterday where we took angles and added them together and set it equal to whatever the angle equals, we're going to do that same thing. I'm going to take that 2x, I'm going to add 28, and I'm going to set it equal to 90 because I see I have a 90-degree marker. These are two complementary angles. So then from there, I just solve. I say minus 28, minus 28. I have 2x equals 62. And then to get x all by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I get x equals 31. And I'm all done. Okay, so when you're solving for complementary angles, you add your two angles together and set it equal to 90. All right. Now I want you to use the complementary angles to solve this one on your own. Good luck. Okay, for this problem, hopefully you said 3x plus 9 plus 27 equals 90. And then you can simplify that a little bit. You can say 9 plus 27 is 36. So then you have 3x plus 36 equals 90 because we're dealing with complementary angles. So then in order to get x by itself, you're going to subtract 36 from both sides. Then you're left with 3x equals 54. And then you divide both sides by 3, and you are left with x equals 18. If you have questions about that problem, please be sure to reach out for some help. I'm happy to help you. Otherwise, we're going to move on to our next example, where we are now talking about supplementary angles. So supplementary are where the sum of two angles is 180 degrees. So that means that it forms a straight line, okay? Looks just like this. So if we're trying to find the measure of an angle that is supplementary to the given angle, this is very similar to the very first example we did. The only difference is now we're talking about supplementary. So I say 180 minus 135 will tell me what our supplementary angle is. In this case, that would be 45 degrees. Okay, so that's my angle that is supplementary. So why don't you go ahead and find the measure of the angle that is supplementary to a 67-degree angle. Good luck. Okay, for this problem, hopefully you said 180 minus 67 is 113, which is option A. If you have questions about that at all, please don't hesitate to ask for some help. I'm happy to help you. Let's move on to example 4. So now we're going to write and solve an equation to find the value of x. You can see we have this straight line here that's formed by these two angles. So straight line tells me that it's going to be set equal to 180. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 10x plus 80 equals 180. That's how I would set up my equation. Now I just solve. So again, I start by subtracting. So I have 10x equals 180 minus 80 is 100. And then I would divide both sides by 10, and I'm left with x equals 10 as my answer. Okay, and if you have questions about that, ask for some help. Otherwise, move on to this question for you to solve. I want you to write and solve an equation to find the value of x. Good luck. Okay, for this problem, hopefully you set it up as 5x plus 4 plus 132 equals 180. Then you simplified by combining the 4 plus 132 to get 136. So then your equation reads 5x plus 136 equals 180. You subtract 136 from both sides, and you're left with 5x equals 44. And then you divide both sides by 5, and you get x equals 8.8. Okay, so if you have any questions about this problem or anything else from the video, please be sure to ask questions, reach out for help. I'm happy to help you, and I hope you have a great day.